All right, I want to do a quick breakdown on how to actually read and use the customer journey automation map. I know I've chatted with a lot of you guys about this in terms of when to send emails as to certain points and what points of the customer journey you can automate. I think the important thing to know is that this is all very custom per clinic. Okay, so you can't take this at face value. You have to take this and really customize it to exactly what you're doing with your clinic, okay? Because everybody's customer journey is going to look a lot different. People are selling different packages. Their continuity offer looks different. The way they get in the door is a lot different. So you really have to take what you're doing and customize that to this process. Okay, so there are very specific things, obviously, that you can automate that makes sense to automate. My clinic is very automated at this point, but we had to do a lot of manual work to get to that point. So, again, like really taking this with a grain of salt, figuring out what's going to work best for your clinic is the most important thing here. Okay, so this customer journey map can probably look pretty daunting. There's a lot of things here, and I think that's kind of the point is that you can automate pretty much anything you want. It's just all going to be about what makes sense for your clinic. All right. So we break it down into stages of the customer journey, starting with the consideration phase. This is when somebody raises their hand for your clinic. Okay. So how are they first showing you that they're considering, or what is their action when they're considering that they might have a problem and they need to figure out what they're doing for it? Okay. So maybe they're Googling physical therapy or their pain point, or they see your clinic on social media, referred by a friend, whatever it is that that action is where people are starting in their customer journey. Okay. So they're going to take some sort of action to start to show that like they're moving towards this awareness stage. Whatever action they take, there should be an automation there that puts somebody into your CRM. Okay, so you can see our little legend here. The star means that you can build an automation. The thumbs down is an automation for a lost patient drip or an email campaign that goes out. Okay, so first automation is going to be whatever form or whatever somebody's filling out. That always number one thing should be put into your CRM. If there's one thing that you can do from this whole course is all of your contact points for people or where they reach out to you, you can automate that to put into your CRM. That's a game changer right there. Most of you aren't even doing that. So don't worry about the rest of the stuff down here. Start here. As we continue on into what we call the awareness phase, this is where people are, again, filling out that form or however they're contacting you, phone call, email, filling out a form, booking a discovery call. The next step with that is automating a response. And, studies say that if you reach out to somebody within 5 minutes of them contacting you, like they go from like a 20% to a 90% reconversion rate for that. So don't take those numbers, exact, but it's high. It's just so much more. The faster you can get to contact somebody, the better are your chances of getting them in. Okay, so think about it. If you fill out a form for some product and you don't hear back from them for even like 12 hours. If you don't hear back from the next day, you've probably lost interest and you probably aren't going to follow through with that. But if they reach right out to you while you're still researching that product or whatever it is, and you hear from them within the hour, that is a game changer. That's how you're going to make that conversion, get them on a phone call, get them scheduled for their evaluation. Okay, so all of these responses should be automated. Okay, once they get to that stage of booking a discovery call, there should be an automated message that goes out, and they have a calendar link in their calendar, and they get an email from you saying, "Hey, very excited to get on this phone call with you, and here's what we're going to talk about." Just presetting the scene. The most important thing within these consideration and awareness stages is how can we delight this new lead as much as possible? How much content can we put in front of them to really get them to know, like, and trust your brand and your business and get them to understand what you're doing? Okay, so they book a discovery call, you can have an automation there. They don't end up booking that discovery call. That's where that lost patient campaign comes into play. thinking about automations, if they book an evaluation at a full price, they should get an email, an automated email that goes out and says, hey, here's your evaluation. This is what you expect. Here's the price point. Here's our packages, all that stuff. As much information that you can automatically send out to these people, the better. And the same thing, if they don't take that action, what type of emails are you sending to them? So the same sort of thought process goes into each of these stages. So they show up for an evaluation, they should get an email. There should be some sort of automation there. This one more so in the background. If they show up for their evaluation, you should task that therapist that saw that person for the eval with they should have a task to follow up with whoever they saw for that evaluation, send them that post eval email. Really, again, continue to build that trust. On the flip side, if they don't show up for their eval, let's send them again some very targeted, specific copy on, hey, let's get you back in for this eval, or whatever makes sense for your business. Moving along the stages, I think this is one of the most important things that you can do is if somebody comes in for an evaluation and they don't buy a package, you should know why they don't buy a package, and you should organize that, and you should notate that, and you should keep records on that. And what we do is we have a list of 6 or 7 things of objections why people don't buy a package, and we categorize those within our CRM. Again, another automation, and then they get put into an email campaign based on the reason why they don't buy a package. So say they didn't purchase a package with us because it was too expensive. We then send them a series of emails that goes out and says, hey, here's why this is this expensive, but here's what you get with everything as well. So it just makes a lot of sense. There's also some automations that you can use. You can kind of see here kind of the side automations that aren't directly tied with the customer flow is like enrolling in certain email drips or pipeline. So pipeline is, again, if you're using one of the bigger CRMs, you'll have sales pipelines, and that's where you're tracking the sales process that all of your customers are going through. So whenever, for example, this one here, enroll in a continuity pipeline, whenever somebody purchases a package with us, we have another continuity pipeline that we enroll people in, and that's how we're tracking if they're going to purchase a continuity package or not. Same thing whenever someone purchases a package, their life cycle gets changed to a customer. Again, this is pretty deep CRM talk. But once they become a customer in our CRM, they're going to get enrolled in the new customer email campaign. And those are very specific timed emails that go out based on the emotions that that customer is going through 2 weeks after they purchase a package, 4 weeks, 8 weeks, 12 weeks after they purchase a package, and addressing any objections they may have, telling them that they should continue to come in. This is one of the more important email drips that you can send out. Same thing goes with within the consideration, awareness, and acquisition stage. There's a whole opportunity email drip that we talk about. So we have an opportunity, a contact is an opportunity in our CRM once they book a discovery call with us. So you just have to categorize that, and this is something that will make more sense once you start using a CRM. So we go back down. I think the last and most important thing to kind of highlight is once a package is purchased, we should be creating automations for our staff members or even ourselves, if you're just a solopreneur, to reach out to people at certain points after they purchase a package. So for example, you could set an automation to task one of your PTs to reach out to their patients 4 weeks after they purchase a package, 8 weeks after they purchase a package, 12 weeks, 15 weeks, whatever you want that cadence to be. But there should be an automation to ensure that that follow-up is happening, and you as the owner of the business can make sure that it's happening too. Then you get into, obviously, with all the lost patient drips. We don't need to talk through any of those. We call this our rejuvenate package. So this is, continuity. So once you sell continuity or don't, then you can go into certain things. But I think the automations start to go down once someone purchases a continuity with you, because at this point they know, like, and trust you. they've been with you for 3 to 6 months already. And, if you're doing your job and providing a good service, you don't need to continue to reach out to those people. So take this as a framework to build your customer journey around. Figure out where the automations can go. If you're at that point where you want to scale up and you want to really lean into these automations and be able to clearly map all of this out, this is where a little bit more expensive CRM is going to come into play, but it's totally worth it. So if you guys have any questions, box me over and happy to dive into it.